Hi, this is Marnie Pearson and Sue Painter back with the online business reality show, or Marnie and Sue's Peep Show, where we pull back the curtains on our businesses and give you an inside look on what we're up to. Today we're going to be talking about some Facebook advertising that we ran for Sue over the last week, and then we're going to also talk about micro niches. So, Sue, did you want to prep us a little bit of what your ad is about here, and then I can show them?
Yeah, so I wanted to do some Facebook ad and just experiment with it and see if I could get conversions. In other words, people opting into my list. And Marnie is, she's got the technical background of doing Facebook ads that I don't have, and nor do I want to have. I'm glad to have Marnie's help with it. Got too much other stuff going. So I decided to do this piece that were 7 trends affecting your business right now. And I talked just briefly about what each of those trends are, and make the point that if you don't, in your industry, if you don't keep abreast of what the trends are, then it's going to affect your business whether you realize it or not. So it's always good to keep up on them, and here are 7 that I feel like are affecting my business and Marnie's business and anyone who's in the online space. So that was what the opt-in was this one-page summary of the 7 trends that I see that are important to pay attention to right now. So from that, we built a Facebook ad set with 4. I think we had 4 different graphics, right, Marnie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we tried 4 different graphics for the same opt-in because one of your graphics is going to do better than the other, and it's going to convert more people at a lower cost. So we wanted to figure out which graphic pulled and which graphic did not pull, and so forth. And Marnie's going to show you a little bit about the results. It was just a tiny little experiment. I ran it for 4 days, Marnie, and only put $25 to it. So it's not like it was a hugely expensive thing, but we thought we'd show you the results, and that's a part of kind of pulling back the curtain and showing you like the inside guts of the business.
All right, so we'll go to screen share.
Okay.
Oh, I have to tell it what I want. Entire screen. Okay. All right. So here this ad is the one that did the best. We got it down to 79 cents per conversion. She had 20 conversions, about a 3.45% click-through rate. That means that her ad was shown to 858 people, and 20 of them actually went to the page and signed up, and they opted in, I believe, right? Because you put it on the download. So not only did they go, but they opted in and whatever necessary to actually be on the list. So that one did the best. The one that did, just so you learn how to read the stats here, this one was $1.33 per conversion. So for every person that got on our list, cost her $1.33, and this one was $3.39. So this is the one that was kind of expensive, and I was trying to explain, I don't know that I explained it too well. We were going back and forth on Facebook trying to explain that perhaps while this ad was a decent one, it might not have gelled to people, because we had 12 people who clicked, but only one of them converted on this one. Versus this one, she had 45 clicks and 20 conversions. So,
this is a learning experience, and anything you ever do on Facebook ads is a learning experience. For me, I figured that what's affecting your business right now, coming trends, are you ready? The one that was the most expensive one, that one would have pulled me personally, rather than the one that did pull, which is Sue Predicts. Sue Predicts is kind of almost feels like more woo-woo-y, crystal ball kind of stuff, but that was what actually caught the attention of more people and gave me more conversions to my opt-in at a much cheaper price. So you have to experiment and learn, what'll work for you and what won't, and it might be really surprising. It might be the opposite of what you thought. Now, Marnie was of the opinion that this did pretty well, that I got basically 25 opt-ins for $25 at $1 an opt-in overall. To me, I was hoping that it would reach hundreds and hundreds more people. So, Marnie, what do you have to say about that?
Well, the audience we picked was fairly small. It was probably about 2,900 people. and the ad ran for, I think, what was it, 1,200. We reached right at 1,999 people.
Right.
Okay, so historically, advertising, you do well to get. I mean, this click-through rate of 3.45% is really good. I mean, when I've run ads in the past, you might see 1 to 2% click-through rate, so that's above average there. The conversion rate is pretty good as well. For the opt-ins, we might have been able to play with the text and get your opt-ins up a little higher, perhaps. If what I would tell somebody to do is look at the content of the page you're sending them to. If you've got 45 people going there and only 20 of them are signing up, then there's room for improvement there.
Right.
So look at the copy of the landing page to
Right.
improve that.
Right. And so what I got to get this text to quit buzzing here. Hang on just a minute. Okay. What I learned from this, or the point that we want to make, I knew this, but it brought it home to me even more clearly, is when you go into the world of Facebook advertising, you really have to have two things that are very solid, not just one thing, but two things. First of all, you've got to have a graphic and text that pulls so that people will click on it, and that will take them to your opt-in on your website. But if the opt-in page itself is weak and does not further entice the person, then you're going to lose them. Excuse me. So you've got to have a good ad, and you've got to have a good opt-in or landing page for that opt-in. Now, a lot of people use lead pages because lead pages is kind of fancy, and they've done some research about what converts the most, and probably when I do this again, I will use lead pages. I do use it, but I was kind of in a hurry to just get this out here, so when people click through, it just went to a regular page on my website, and I went in and changed the copy and added some graphics about midstream to see if that would help pull the actual opt-ins up, and it did pull it up a little bit. So you need to have two strong things. You need to have the ad strong and the page that they go to on your website very strong. Otherwise, they'll click, and you'll pay for that click, but they won't actually opt in, and you've lost them. So you have to have both of those things. And then thirdly, the third thing you have to have is you've got to have a follow-on autoresponder series that reaches out and touches those people who have signed up like at least 4 times to give them more information and build that know, like, and trust factor, and then eventually make some kind of an offer to them. So there's 3 really vital pieces, but for Facebook's purposes, you've got to have at least the first 2, the ad and the really good landing page where you're sending them. Marnie, what else do you have to say about that?
Yeah. Another little interesting tidbit I noticed, because I'm running other people's ads as well, and I used, you know how you have those little trend lines on that SuperDix ad, and it's got the little line graph? I used a line graph in another person's ad, and it was one of their best ones too.
Huh.
So I'm wondering if the lines going up
right. Yeah.
are attractive to people. They want to see things improving, and I don't know, it's an interesting graphic.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. And I think what I'm going to do next time is I'll change it and have another offer probably here in a couple of weeks when I have a chance to work on it. I'm going to do a little video opt-in that's just a real quick, 30, 60 seconds, and invite people to come to my website and opt in for something. So that's going to be the next thing that I test. Now I can use this same ad and I can change the population that it goes to, change the demographics and so forth. And I might do that too. So anyway, that's the down and dirty about my current Facebook ad that I did with Marnie's help, and I'm very happy to have her help. And if you need help doing Facebook ads, Marnie's the person to talk to, because she does that for people, and she's good at what she does. So thanks, Marnie, for your help. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always fun to see what works.
It is fun to see what works. You have to take it like you have to be curious about it and use that feedback to improve things. You can't get down in the mouth about it. You just have to use the feedback. Right.
And you kind of have to get used to reading your stats, because I've noticed, you think that, oh, that was good, but when you look at your numbers, how many times did it have to be seen, to be clicked, how many times Did they go to your page and actually sign up?
Right.
Look for the holes. Look so you know what to improve.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that one. And what else do you want to talk about?
Well, you've mentioned that one of the trends you saw was micro niching, and I've been playing around with that lately. So I thought I'd let you talk about it since it's one of your trends in your report. In fact, tell them the link to get your report because they might want it.
Oh, you know what? I'll have to dig for it here while we're talking. But
I can put it on the screen afterwards.
okay, why don't you put it on the screen afterwards? Because I'll have to go dig for it. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing about micro niching. You know, one of the people I always listen to is a friend of mine, Mike Koenig's, and he is actually, I think, one of the most brilliant futurists in the online world. He sees trends and technology way, way, way before most people see them. He just has this uncanny way of putting things together. And one of the things that he's talked about is that 2015 is the year to become what he calls niche famous. And I have been preaching that to my clients for over a year now. In fact, probably almost 2 years. So it's kind of nice to hear Mike come along now and say, yeah, you know, this is in fact what does it. So as more and more people get into the online space, then there's more and more people offering basically similar to what you offer. And yet we each are individual and unique. So that, for instance, for Marnie and for me, my gosh, when we first started online, we were one of the few business coaches out there for women entrepreneurs. And all these, I mean, I've been in business a decade now, and Marnie's been in business even longer than that. And there's business coaches that are a dime a dozen. Now, many of them have never owned a business, but nevertheless, they're a business coach. That's a topic for another day. But you have to be able to be unique, and you have to be able to call to a specific group of people. So you can't just say women entrepreneurs. That's way too broad a niche. You have to really narrow it down. So, like, I have a client right now, and she markets to health coaches. And the first words out of my mouth was, well, health coaches, I mean, everybody's a health coach these days, so there's too many, you've got to niche it more. So there's weight loss health coaches, there's fibromyalgia health coaches, there's health coaches for overcoming treatment from cancer. I mean, there's 50 different thousand niches within the health coaching industry. So my suggestion is pick one and get that going, what your offers are, get a following among that subset of that niche, that micro niche. And then if you want to add other niches later on, you can do that as well. But the riches, I mean, Allie Brown says the riches are in the niches, and she's for sure right. But now I would change it to say the riches are in the micro niches, because the more you can call to a certain tiny little segment, then the more you're going to, people's ears will perk up. So if I said something like, okay, I sell bras, are you interested? Well, people's eyes are going to, all women's eyes are going to glaze over. Not all, but most of them, in this country anyway, wear bras. If I said, I specialize in front closure bras for women who wear a D cup and above. Well, those particular women are going to hear that, and they're going to be like, oh, I've been looking for that. I sure would like to know about a front closure bra for a woman who's a D cup or above. So do you see how that narrows it? And by narrowing it, you actually call to people who will, your call becomes louder and more strident, and more people will hear you. Other than bra, who cares, you know. So think about that in your email titles as well. And Marnie, I know you've been playing with the niche stuff too, so what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so I'm doing an event next week in Salt Lake City for Simply Healed practitioners who want to build their businesses to the next level. So I partnered with my friend Carolyn Cooper, who developed the Simply Healed method, and she's promoting it to her practitioners, and then I'm doing this class just for them. So I'm teaching them a lot of the stuff that I teach other people, but it's more niche down to their unique practice. And then I've also planned with another sub-niche that's kind of a spin-off of that one, because a lot of those energy practitioners are also doTERRA reps. And
okay.
doTERRA people come to me and say, would you do energy calls for my team? Would you integrate So I'm really excited about this book that I'm doing. I'm doing a book called, I just got this title today, and I put up a page about it. It's called Dream, Believe, and Succeed Like a Diamond. Because anything that's like if you're a diamond or above in doTERRA, that's like you really have a lot of success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview blue diamonds and above for a book. So it's kind of a spin-off of like my collaborative books, except for I'm going to interview them, distill what they believe, how they think, how they see the world. And it's kind of years ago, this story I heard from Tony Robbins really struck me, and I've never forgotten it. He was contracted by the military to come in and improve the scores of the sharpshooters. And Tony had never even fired a gun. He never even done it.
Yeah.
And so he came in and he distilled the belief systems of the top sharpshooters, and then he installed them in himself and the other people, and the scores went off the charts. They really increased significantly, and it was just based on what they believed. So the premise behind the book is that these successful doTERRA business builders think differently, they believe differently, they see the world differently. How are they seeing, believing, or whatever? Let's distill that, and then I hope to create an entire curriculum around help that implement the energy work around installing those belief systems into anybody who buys the book or wants to, take some training on the back end to integrate that into them. So I'm really excited about that, Nick.
Yeah, I'd be really excited about it too. I think that's awesome, and it does. Actually, I've been thinking about doing something a little bit similar, but not quite. I've been thinking about interviewing other people who have been in the online space for a decade or more, but since this is my 10th year in business, because I want to focus on how you really have to have a long-term focus, and you have to have commitment to keep doing things even when things are kind of for a while. So I want to pull out from them, like, what is the thing within you that keeps you going, that 10 years later you're still here? Because whether you're in an online space or whether you're in a retail space, to be in business for 10 years or more is remarkable for a small business owner. And, Marnie, you and I have been around the block. We're very experienced in what we do, and we've been online for a long time now. So I want to do something that kind of encourages people who have only been in the space for maybe a year or 2 years, and they're still trying to kind of struggle to kind of find their sweet spot, because it does take a while to find your sweet spot, and then the sweet spot changes as the market changes. So you constantly have to be asking yourself about that and questioning and evaluating what's working and what's not. So I'm excited to do that as well. And I was actually just going to do a series of little quick videos, like a bunch of Google Hangouts, and then offer those as downloads for people. But I like your idea of the book, too.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to make the recordings of the interviews available as well. So I'll make those.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, well, what else? Do we have anything else to talk about?
I don't know. What you got coming up? What do you got on the plate?
What I got coming up? I'm planning to do another business intensive day here in Florida in March, on a Friday in March. I haven't quite set the date yet. It's probably going to be the last Friday of March. So, and I can take 4 people. I do 4 people. I have them come into my private home here, and we sit around and brainstorm and mastermind what they need to do in their business for really the next 90 days, but also kind of look at how they need to switch things around, what's working, what's not working, and so forth. So if people are interested in that, the best thing to do would be to shoot me an email at sue@confidentmarketer.com and just say, I'm interested to come down to Florida and spend that day with you. Now, if that last Friday in March is close to Easter, it will not be that day, because Easter around here at the beach is cray-cray. So I would back it up probably, or move it into earlier March. So I'll let you know about that. So you'd be flying into either Tampa or Bradenton, Sarasota Airport, or Sarasota Bradenton Airport, I should say, and spending the day with 3 other people and myself. So there'd be 5 of us total. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And Marnie, I hope you have a really cool trip to Salt Lake City next week, and that your class goes super great.
Well, thanks.
And let's see, I can't remember now. Let me see if I can find it on my calendar when our next Peep show is. Hang on.
I think it's next Tuesday.
Huh?
I think it's next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday. Okay. That's cool. Okay. And we'll send it out. And remember, if other people want to join us, please have them go sign up to be on our list so that they'll get the invitation to the shows. Go join, connect with Marnie and with me on Google Plus so that we can put you in the Peep Show circle so we can send you an invitation. And it's confidentmarketer.com/Peep Show in order to get on our mailing list for these. So I think that's it for now, Marnie. If I don't talk to you again, well, I probably will talk to you again, but if not, have a great trip, and I'll talk to you either while you're out there or when you get back. I'm excited for you, except that I hope it's not cold out there. Probably will be.
We got another Peep show before I leave, so.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see each other next week anyway. So I guess that's it for now, right?
That's good. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Good to see you. Bye-bye.